today's 1055th day, like I'm sharing lessons on learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, I want to speak more about really shallow work. I just learned recently that self healing is very, very important. Sometimes we need to ask questions, difficult questions, provoking questions, thought provoking questions that we could get some kind of answers. And I love the advice that we're not supposed to rush into that. It might be that we are hiding something. The same, like maybe we suppressing some kind of thoughts, maybe some kind of feelings, maybe some kind of ideas for the last 10 years, maybe 20 years. It doesn't matter. Like we had that protection tool to protect ourselves for the last 10, 20, 30 years. So we do not know how long we had that. And sometimes, of course, it will take some time to really understand what we are hiding and why we're hiding. So today we'll share 10 questions, maybe even more. We'll see how much we're able to manage in the next 10 minutes. But like, really, what kind of questions could be thought provoking and it'll help us understand, okay, what introspective questions I'm able to ask to really get right answers. Number one, what qualities in other trigger a strong emotional reaction in me? That could be jealousy, anger, frustration. Because a lot of times we do not see something in ourselves. We have a blind spot. So when you're able to see, okay, this person is doing this and it really makes me angry. Why it makes me angry? Why it makes me angry? Because I could tell you that it's 100%. It's 100% sure. So when someone triggers me when they do something, a lot of times I found myself, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Or I just do not like that because of something that's internally. Because we're not supposed to allow other people trigger us. And if someone triggers us, that means there is a weakness. Because at the end of the day, like, we're not able to control other people's actions, but we're able to control is our emotional response to that. And if you're triggered, that means that there's something in there that we're able to really find what's going on. Number two question is, what behaviors or emotions do I judge as bad or unacceptable in myself? So what are emotions or behaviors or whatever you do, you judge? The most important part, emotions. What kind of emotions do you call as bad or unacceptable? Because I learned that when you really want to change, you need to be able to accept who you are, accept your emotions, because only acceptance allows you release. That means we're not supposed to get rid of things. We need to learn how to go through it. Because when you only finally get through it and you're able to accept that emotion, and then finally able to let it go, until you accept it, you will never be able to let it go because you resist that. And what resistance does? Resistance focus on that emotion even more. And of course, what you resist persists. It's such a beautiful thing. What you resist persists. So the more you resist your emotion, the more it persists, the more you have it. But being able to accept it and allowing it to go through you, even though this emotion is not good, of course, we're able to really finally go through that. Number three question is, what I'm afraid of others might find out about me. What I'm afraid that others might find out about me. And again, it could be emotions, it could be maybe last experiences, maybe the things that you experienced. And it might be that you feel that they will not accept you because of those past experiences. It might be that you feel sad about yourself. You do not like yourself because of those experiences. It's a very, very powerful thing that when you think about that other people, the things that you don't know about you, because you judge yourself because of those experiences, because of those emotions, you feel that other people will judge you as well about it. And I think that it's farther from the truth. I think that we judge ourselves for the things that we're not supposed to judge. And because of that judgment, that creates fears, it creates doubts, it creates a lot of negative emotions, even more. Because we're able to get in the cycle. We have a negative emotion, we are judging ourselves because of that emotion, and we persist that emotion, and of course it goes out. And it's very hard to really break that until we're able to really say that I don't judge that emotion more. Number four In what areas of life do I feel the most insecure or inadequate? Maybe there is some areas where I feel okay, no, other people figure it out, but I'm not able to figure out. What are those areas that it might be that you feel that maybe are something is missing? And I think that it could be that a lot of times like there's a personal trauma that we need to heal. So self healing is very, very important because when you heal from things, you're able to really overcome that. Because I think that we a lot of times are weak in our traumas. And that's all makes sense. Because when we have a trauma, we want to really walk away from it. But if you walk away from the things that you don't like, what it means that you're not getting engaged experiences. And because if you don't have experiences, you don't have learning opportunities, you don't have failures and successes, you don't learn. So that means you're much, much weaker in the things that you try to avoid. So being able to look into the, okay, like other people who are strong in those, what did they do? And a lot of times they engaged in those emotions, they engage in those behaviors. So being able to heal for trauma will allow to go those and do those activities. It's very, very powerful. Number 5 is when have I overreacted to a situation and why? When I have overreacted to a situation, why? Of course, there's a lot of different reasons people overreact. I know that one of the main reasons is that a lot of times people don't have boundaries and they allow other people to do something, and then of course they start to bottle, and then the anger cup starts to filling up and filling up and filling up and filling up, and at some point it reaches the top. It doesn't matter what of the top is, even a small miscommunication, small some kind of action will lead to overflow, and that of course does lead to overaction. But again, if we allow to really bottle up, if we allow that cup to go whole to the full, that means we didn't able to express that we bottle up. We're not able to express that there is an anger that is it's getting higher and higher and higher. And why we didn't express, why didn't we share our thought, why didn't we share our feelings to the person that we could be ahead of overreaction. Overreaction is always is coming from not communicating. And a lot of times, the person who overacted is the person who didn't communicate like in advance. Because a lot of times people say like, "Oh, why are you overacting this?" No, they don't overact. It was basically just bottled all the negativity that they received over a year, maybe few years, and of course that becomes massive anger. So being able to let it go and pour the cup out and you share those emotions a lot of times is the key to success. And again, this is we need to understand okay why we really suppress those emotions. Why we suppress those emotions? Because what kind of suppressed emotions? Always suppressed emotions lead to overreaction. So when you understand what kind of emotions they are suppressed, you're able to really pour that cup out. Number 6, what do I criticize or judge in others, and how might that reflect on me? It might be that you always judge people, and to be honest, when I was younger, I used to love to judge for a lot of different things. I judge for this one, and for this one, for this one, and the older I get, the less judgment I have. I don't have any judgments whatsoever right now, and I probably have, but I'm always reducing because I'm not the person who's supposed to judge because nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. And when you have that understanding nobody's perfect and everyone is having good intentions, but they sometimes have bad behaviors, bad actions because they made a mistake, and that's all fine. And when we judge, a lot of times we're able to see that we judge other people because we judge ourselves. So what we judge in other people, we judge in ourselves. And being able to say like, what do I judge myself about? And why do I judge myself for that? Because it might be that our judgment of ourselves are the biggest direction that we will judge others. Number 7 is what behaviors do I avoid because I'm afraid of being judged or rejected? What behaviors do I avoid because I'm afraid of judged or rejected? To be honest, that's very interesting because I avoided starting my YouTube channel for 2 years because I wanted to avoid um, being judged, being rejected, because I knew that, but I started that my accent was terrible. I didn't sound very well. I didn't had very great confidence, and I was super uncomfortable in front of camera. So I was afraid. I was afraid to be judged. I'm afraid to be rejected. I was afraid that my friends or family would say like, "What are you doing? Like you look ridiculous. And I was afraid of it. But when I was able to overcome that, of course, then I start to work on my dreams and I start to do the things that I want. I start working on developing the skill sets that I believe will help to achieve my goals. So that's why I truly believe it is being able to really let it go of all those are such a massive thing in life. Number 8 is what are my greatest fears about myself and how do I compensate for them? What are the biggest fears about myself? Because a lot of times I think that what I learned as well recently that a lot of times we feel that we are not complete and we have a goal or something that's something that we pursue and that is when we achieve that something that we pursue, we'll finally be complete. The finally will be complete. That could be money, that could be material things, that could be relationships. And I think that when we have that incomplete picture of ourselves that we always never enough, that's when at that moment we have a lot of fears about ourselves. We're not enough. We fear that it will we're weak, we're selfish. Like we have a lot of fears that because we're not enough, we're not complete. But when we start to look at yourselves as full, as a whole, a person just needs a little bit of healing. It's not that you need to that you need external validation. You just need to internal validate. So I'm okay with how I am, but I just want to improve. I just want to get better. That's a different perspective when you think about it. You're not enough and you need to improve because you need to be enough. No, but when you look into yourself, that you are already enough. You are totally complete and you're able to really improve that version of yourself. But you're like now like a smaller ball, and now of course become a bigger ball. Like it's exactly like expanding your comfort zone. Now you have a small comfort zone and you're expanding your comfort zone. That's how it's supposed to look. Not like look at you half of the um circle, and now when you find it, you're in a full circle. No, that's we are circle all the time. We're just able to become a little bit bigger circle. Number 9 is what do I most want to be known or praised for? And what would happen if I fail at it? What do I most want to be known and praised for? I think that's a very beautiful question because that really shows what you value the most. Because I know that's for me, it's very, very important to be respected and praised for the character, for ability to be consistent, to fight until I never give up. That means that I'm afraid to give up. I'm afraid not be consistent. I'm afraid to be regretful that I didn't pursue my goals. I didn't achieve my goals because I didn't give it all. I didn't give it. I'm afraid to really regret. That is my fear. I'm afraid to really become one day and understand that I didn't give it all to really pursue something. Because for me at the moment, I'm better pursue something meaningful, but I fail miserably than pursue something that is not worth of my time. And of course, that is every single person's choice. What is worth their time? But for me, 9 to 5 job is not worth my time if I do not have ownership and skin in the game in that company. For me, it's not worth my time. Of course, that's why I always looking at what could I build? What could I help to build? Meaningful. Number 10 and last one that today I want to ask is like, where in my life do I feel envious? And what does that envy reveal about my own desires? Where in my life I feel envious and what does that envy reveal about my own desires? This is a beautiful question. Because a lot of times when we really think about what do you really want? Because sometimes people, I said, I don't know what I want. Because sometimes we are bottled down and we like, really, we do not have goals because we didn't pursue those goals for a long time. We start to believe that it's not for us. Maybe we start to believe that this is for other people, not for us. And we forget about our dreams. And we start to feel that we do not know what we want. So sometimes the first thing that we're able to look at what do we truly want is what do I envy? What I'm jealous about. So when you look at other people, okay, this is I'm jealous, this is I'm not. So the thing that you're jealous about, it might be this a sign that this is exactly what was your dream before you gave up on it. Jealous and envy might be the signs that those were your dreams before you gave up on your dreams and you forgot your dreams. So it's very, very important to really ask the question when you say that I don't know what is my dream. So if you do not know what's your dream, ask what you envy, what you jealous about. And that could be really lead one of the examples of how you can understand what's your dream. Now, This is just one example because we're able to really sit down, reflect, looking, sit in the forest, and really and have a paper full of things that you really want, potentially want, and really and make a list of 50 things, make a list of 10 things, make a list of 3 things that really understand what really matters and why. I think that we really need to work even more introspectively to understand what we really want and overcome all those traumas, overcome all those bad things. Because I learned recently that the more you heal, the more you're able to improve. So I hope you choose to win. I hope that you will choose to win and see you tomorrow.